Before we begin today's vlog, Cass is the more or less national beer of the country. Roughly Korea's equivalent to Snow, which you can also buy here for way more than it's worth. And it tastes about what I expected it would taste like. Well, like snow, actually. All right, so through the first full day of working for these people, I've decided to forgive them for the fracas at the airport. And it definitely reminds me of the various private centers I worked for in China. I think that they all operate the same. I think the differences are more between companies. So there's more difference between the companies within a country than there are between countries here. But in terms of how this specific one works, we do 6 classes a day every day. They're organized into like blocks of either 2 classes or 3. Each one's 45 minutes, so we're working for about 4.5 hours a day, which, on paper is fine. It's actually less than like Webb and some of the places I worked for in China. But when you add in the administrative stuff, it comes out to about the same. Probably the thing that's hardest to get used to is because of the way they structure these are designed to be after school classes. So there's actually nothing before 3 o'clock. And so after 3 o'clock, we work pretty much steadily through until the end of the day. So there's actually no meal break, which means I kind of have to. That's weird for me. For most of my life, really since I was on my own, all the way back to college, I eat like an old man at about 5 o'clock in the PM. And getting used to having to eat at 9 now is going to take some doing. But it's not necessarily so bad. You can adjust to things like that with much greater ease than you'd think. Now, as for the classes themselves, kind of everything's on the computer, which is kind of a plus and a minus. On the one hand, it's a little bit rigid. On the other hand, it's hard to make mistakes. I say hard because I have the same problem I had in other places, which is that I can come up short. Classes don't last as long as they're supposed to. Even at 45 minutes, which is a fairly short class, it's still very easy to come up short. It's also easy to go long, which is a problem I've never had before, but I did today. So I think sussing out the timing is going to take some getting used to. But all in all, I think it'll be, fine. I've never in my life strived to have a job I really enjoyed. I don't seek fulfillment through my work. So as long as it's adequate, that should be good. Speaking of adequate, I'm hoping that by the next time I do one of these, I'll be in my apartment. I really don't know what's taking so long, but since I have nothing else to say on that, and because I do need to eat now, I'm going to say so long. Remember to subscribe to hear more of my ramblings, and God bless.